Okay, we are in the section now where we're going to add our pricing, and one thing that I want to point out in here is if we want to add a service line, for example, in the previous version we had to create two different inspections in order to add merchandise to a GPC proposal. Here it's pretty cool that we can actually save and add a new service line directly to this if we would like to. So let's say I want to add my merchandise now. If you look down at the bottom, let me draw this with my pencil. Down here, down the bottom, it says save and add a new service line. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some bait stations to this. So I'm going to save and add a new service line. Actually, it's going to make me fill out this one first and then save and add a new service line. So let's add this piece in first, and then we'll do that. I got a little ahead of myself here. It's going to take us 120 minutes to service. Price per service is going to be $375 a week. You see the initial infestation modifier. That initial infestation modifier is going to be what your initial is going to be, and it's going to be a modifier of your price per service. So for example, this one would be $750 is going to be my initial because it's two times the initial. So you can see you can adjust your initial infestation modifier. There's also a custom feature right now. So for example, if the custom feature, if you want to do a $5,000 roach clean out, you're going to have to figure out what the multiplier is to get 375 to 5,000. In future enhancements, this custom feature is actually going to be a dollar amount, where if you hit custom, you can put in $5,000. So right now it's multiples, but very soon that custom feature is going to be a dollar amount if it hasn't been changed already. So your calculated base price will normally show up automatically of what it should be. It doesn't show up on this particular one. But it will. That's not an emergency situation. You know what your hourly rate is, so you know what you need to charge for the service. So now I'll save and add a new service line to this. So you can see once I clicked and added a new service line, it says choose service line. Okay, so I'm going to choose merchandise sales here. The rest of it auto-populates except for the main target pest. My main target pest is going to be rats. Whoops, if I spell it right, rats. So we're going to put in rats. We'll hit next. And then I choose my products. And what's cool about this versus the Easy Connect that you had before, if you were using it, there was not a search filter here. So you had to scroll all the way through to try to find which merchandise you wanted to put in. So I wanted an anchored bait station here. So I'm just going to start typing stations, and I see that it comes up with the anchored bait station. The price auto-populates. If that price is not what you charge in your particular branch, you can change that price right there, right? Then you click next. Okay, now you have, and this is where it's going to take a little while to load because this is tying your pricing back to Mission. So now it's going to communicate back to Mission to build this pricing into the proposal, to add this pricing to Mission, to make sure that, okay, we are at proposal stage. This thing is becoming official now. And so there may take a little bit of time to get that done. So you can see that this one is loaded already, and you can see that we have open inspections to choose from. So here's the great thing. When I go to build my proposal on stage 5, I choose which inspections I want to include on my actual proposal. So if I want to go back and build a proposal off of these open inspections that I have that I did yesterday for this other location or for this other section of Toyota Center, I can choose those. Or I can choose, hey, I just want to sell the merchandise. Or down here, if I said, you know, they like that weekly version and they like just that one bait station, I can pick those two options, right, and add those to my proposal. Or I can actually combine all 4 of these, anything that's open, into an open proposal. So once I've got this built and I'm at this stage right here, what I simply do is click next. So you can add different service lines. If I wanted to add an exclusion service line to this, if I wanted to add mosquito to this, if I wanted to add whatever it may be, you know, I just happen to add merchandise sales because I think that's what we'll do most in a GPC. You can add it to this particular proposal, right? So you can, these inspections that you have, you can make multiple appointments. As long as you have open inspections, you can make multiple appointments, meaning multiple opportunities, and recreate these inspections if they're open across into different proposals. So it'll help speed you up as you go forward. So now as I click next on this, it's going to build my proposal. So now I'm at the proposal stage. So you can see down the left-hand side as I scroll down through here, you can see what I saw, what I recommend, what I heard. You can see, and this is small, you will be able to, you have to scroll across on this particular screen to see everything. There is a way to save the document and see the document. You can see what I did for my pricing. The formatting of this pricing page is going to change. It's going to look cleaner. It's going to look more professional. You can see that there are signature pages in here as well. You can see if I wanted to add photos to this particular proposal or add the graph to this proposal, I can down at the bottom. So if you look down at the bottom, add photos, add graphs. If I click add photos, I can add this photo and save. If I want to add the graph, I can choose whichever graphs I have associated with this particular account. I'll choose the graph that I worked on there. I've added the graph to this particular proposal. So those features are going to be in the proposal here, in the photos and the graphs. Now they're small on this particular version, but I think in the version that we get once we go live, those are going to be full size. The pages will be full size. So the photos and the graphs will be on the proposal. So cool thing here, some of you are probably used to it. Number one, if you want to just save the document and email it, you can email it. Let me get my drawing, my little pen down here. You can email it. You can just save the document if you're done and you're not ready for a signature, right? Or you can complete the sale once you've got these signatures. So let's erase this. Let's get rid of my pen here. So a lot of times we have standing POs. We can just click on the PO number, type in the PO number, and we can put in a PO number there to have it signed off on. We can have the customer sign it, right? So if they sign it, they can sign it right there on the screen. Or if we so choose, we could actually, and they send an email back to us with a signed signature, we can take a picture of the signed signature right here, right? And that will work too. So a picture will work there. And then once you're done with that, you complete the sale. So I'm not going to complete the sale on this particular version. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save this document. So I'm going to click Save the Document. Again, there's always a place to depart from this and leave before you get to that save stage. So as I save this document, it should, this one, see what we're doing here. Should be saving and exiting. Okay, so you can see the document saved. I'm back at the account screen for the Toyota Center. I have it highlighted here, and you can see what we proposed was the $19,875 in service and the one single bait station. You can see what the total is, and this Adobe page is grayed out because we didn't complete the proposal, so it didn't go all the way to red. We didn't complete the sale, so we're waiting for it to come back, then we can go back in and complete the sale once that's all said and done. So, if we wanted to see a completed agreement, we can certainly go up and look at this one that is red. I'll tap on that one and see if we can get it to open. And you can see when you go back into a proposal and say, hey, can you send that to me again? Can we look at this proposal again? One that I'd done earlier, this email feature down at the bottom left that you see down here, if I click on email, this is pretty slick. You just click on the email, it pops it up and allows you to send an email with a PDF to the customer and any explanation, and it sends it right from there. So that is a pretty neat feature that you have right there. So some cool things in here that you can add service lines to your proposals. You don't have to go back out and create a whole new inspection, start over from scratch, and then add those inspections. You can create additional inspections within an inspection record or within an appointment that you're already in, and then tie all those inspections together, bundle your services to create a proposal right in there. So a lot of cool stuff there that makes things a lot easier than what the old Easy Connect is. So one thing that I do want to show you before I finish here and before I open up for any questions is a couple things they've built in which I think are great, and they're going to be very helpful, especially early on, because we are expecting there to be some issues and some things that don't work the way you want them to work, and maybe you get to a point and your screen freezes or you lock up. It's going to be, if you click on this hamburger button here and you go down to Sync Reports, one thing that you see down at the bottom, and I'll highlight this for you so you can see it a little better, this says Data Export down here. Okay. So if you take a screenshot of the screen that you're on, and then you click Data Export, That's going to pop up an email. I'll click data export. That's going to pop up an email. It's going to go to salesmobility@servicemaster.com. You attach your picture that you took, the screenshot that you took here. You put in some information of just basic information of where you're at, what you were trying to do, and where it stopped. This zip file that's included in here is going to give them the background data that they need to quickly fix this issue. And it's going to go directly to the sales mobility team, and this is going to allow for much faster resolution of problems. And you don't have to pick up the phone, you don't have to go into your email separately and add your picture. You can actually send the help request directly from EasyConnect, which is pretty cool. Again, anytime that you are running into issues, and you saw me do this earlier, which I didn't need to do because it was operator error, but if you run into an issue where I converted this over to an account but it's not showing up, maybe there's just some lag in there. Again, you come into this sync reports page where we're at right here, and you click the sync button, which is right beside data export. You click sync, and it syncs everything back to mission, back to middleware, and that should allow those things to show up without having to shut down and restart EasyConnect. So another really cool feature that we have in here. So there's a lot of great stuff that you can do. You can see we went through some basics here, but I wanted to show you some highlights. I'm sure I missed some stuff, so this is where I'm going to open it up for questions and answer and let you ask some questions. But this test environment is going to be available to you. So that's all I have on the actual demo.